Gunnan, the conniving moves and speed and physical play of Shelley Rossell. The Florida Sundogs counter with Kathy Evangelo and Debbie Rice. All four jammers out, as always seems to be the case from the racehorse start. And the elbow from Heather Gunnan drops Kathy Evangelo. She covers up to make sure she doesn't get run over by the pack. And now Debbie Rice returns the favor and is able to drop Shelley Rossell. And it's Debbie Rice and Heather Gunnan, arguably the two fastest skaters in all the WSL, as they go head-to-head. Denise Loden and Gina Lombardo setting up in the back of the pack, and they double up on Shelley Rossell. And very quickly, Debbie Rice is able to go by one of the New York Enforcers, Edie Bowman, and quickly cut off the jam, picking up 1 point in this low-scoring affair as the Sundogs move out in front 7-6.
We still see that. We noticed that cast on her right wrist there, Ken. We saw her break her wrist in 3 places several weeks ago. She's got that very malleable cast on now. Seems to not be affecting her at all.
And now Denise Loden talked about not scoring any points in the first half, decides to put on the jammer helmet along with Kathy Evangelo. But coming right up front, and now Denise takes the whip from Andrea Franklin, but it's Karen Magnuson out in front for the New York Enforcers. Interesting matchup here. Loden certainly the bigger and more physical, but Magnuson, the dirty, capable of anything. You see right there, she goes to the forearm to the back of the head and slows down Denise Loden as they come around. Now Loden catches up using the inside of the track, returns the favor of the elbow below the neck. Legal slows down Magnuson. Magnuson does the same, a little bit of monkey see, monkey do. And Janet Abraham rotated to the back of the pack. She's targeting Denise Loden. Loden goes right by her to add insult to injury. Following up the Bulldog in the first period, flies right by, untouched, picks up the point, cuts off the jam. The Sundogs move out in front by 2.
Well, Karen, Denise Loden might have won that battle as she put the blocker helmet on, but she's playing into the hands of the Enforcers for the whole war. And here a war is ensuing right in front, with Karen Magnuson and Janet Abraham ganging up on Denise Loden, Ken.
There is no question you knew Abraham would want to answer the Bulldog, and now to add insult to injury, Loden go right by her, and Abraham unable to get her and Loden to put a point on the board. But one of the real keys to this game, the Sundogs have had 8 scoring jams, but have only picked up 1 point per jam. As you see Janet Abraham in the penalty box, a 1-jam penalty as the Sundogs with a woman advantage counter with Kathy Evangelo, and coming out also is Gina Lombardo. New York counters with Shelley Rossell and April Tootle wearing a jammer helmet, but Tootle being blocked out in the back of the pack. So it's going to come down to Evangelo and Lombardo having to deal with Shelley Rossell as they come around. They try and sandwich Rossell in. I'm a little bit surprised with the advantage that they didn't counter with Rice and Loden, but it certainly worked as Lombardo and Evangelo drop Shelley Rossell. This is the opportunity Florida needs. They need to get more than 1 point. Denise Loden tried to take out Karen Magnuson. Magnuson spun around her but lost her skate. It's already 2 points as each jammer scored, passing Karen Magnuson as they come up more. And now Kathy Evangelo is able to go by April Tootle. This is the biggest opportunity. The Florida Sundogs taking it to maximum advantage, using the one-woman advantage to put 4 points on the board for the Florida Sundogs.
And I question why the Enforcers sent Shelley Rossell out there, Ken. We saw in the first half that strategy didn't work with her as a jammer, and it was more of the same with Kathy Evangelo and Gina Lombardo definitely taking advantage of number 31, Shelley Rossell. Why are they putting her out as a jammer if it's not working?
I would suggest one reason, Shelley Rossell has gotten it done all season long, but certainly they need to look to Heather Gunnan.
Well, we're going to find out how smart we are, because Heather Gunnan now has a jammer helmet on, Ken.
Suddenly, Florida has doubled up the Enforcers, 12-6, and now Suzanne Chalene out far the quicker of the skaters. That's April Tootle jamming for the New York Enforcers. Tootle certainly the bigger of the two at 5'7", 150 pounds. Suzanne Chalene a full 20 pounds and weight differential. Suzanne only 130, but it didn't show right there. She used her speed. The elbow pinned April Tootle up against the rail. And now Linda Leisure dropping back for the Enforcers to try and block out Suzanne Chalene. Andrea Franklin also coming back to help. But now coming up very quick is Heather Gunnan, and she is able to go by Andrea Franklin for a point. Suzanne Chalene down on the track, and suddenly out of nowhere, the speedster Heather Gunnan putting the New York Enforcers right back into this game, using her speed, trying to get by. Good job of Evangelo and Debbie Rice preventing her from going by anymore, but the damage was done as Gunnan picks up 3 points and cuts this 6-point lead in half.
And it was a great job by the Enforcers, Ken. You saw them send April Tootle out there. The unbelievable speed of April Tootle lure these Sundogs into a false sense of security. Then the clever Heather Gunnan comes around, scores points, big points for her Enforcer teammates.
Unbelievable speed of April Tootle. I'm going to really have to think about that one a little bit.
I was being facetious.
12-9, Sundogs is now the speedster Debbie Rice and Heather Gunnan, the two fastest skaters. Heather Gunnan turns around, gives the knee to Debbie Rice. Heather Gunnan already with 5 points in this game. A dirty tactic, but legal. Turns right around and takes out Rice.
She's a volatile player, Ken, and it looks like she's turning it up here in the conference championship.
And now Debbie Rice stays back to block and see if she can return the favor to Heather Gunnan. And here comes Denise Loden, and Loden goes to the front of the pack. They must have something in store, and she leaves it up to Debbie Rice to try and block out Gunnan. I think Rice a little more the agile of the two skaters. Certainly Gunnan the more physical play. And remember, take a look, Denise Loden blew out. She sets up, trying to go for the form of a side scraper. Barely caught Heather Gunnan, but it works to perfection. As Sean Atkinson awards 1 point to the New York Enforcers.
Sean Atkinson and Denise Loden used to date. They may be dating. Who knows if they're dating? And she took a page from his playbook. And I'm being told now that they're still engaged. And we saw Denise Loden acting like Sean Atkinson.
12-10 Florida Sundogs. The Enforcers given that 1 point for the illegal block by Denise Loden. And now very quickly coming out, this is Linda Leisure for the New York Enforcers. We've talked many times about how she may be the most underrated player in the league. It's certainly on the Enforcers, but time runs out, so no more points. And it is 12-10. The Florida Sundogs in this Eastern Conference Championship. We'll be back.